Well, Congress just averted a government shutdown for now. David Hawkings, editor of the CQ Roll Call Daily Briefing, joins us. David, so we have another CR. That's wonderful. But as difficult as it is to get these temporary bills passed, how will they ever pass a full budget?
Well, it's a great question. It's the obvious question that in the end, this last standoff that for a few days made us think about yet another government shutdown was ultimately about $1.5 billion, billion with a B. And the next thing that they have to debate is a bill that's going to add up to more than $1 trillion with a T. It's actually supposed to total $1,043 billion. There was a gamble that the leadership took early in the year. They realized that everybody was angry enough with each other. Partisanship and brickbat throwing was as bad as it had ever been. They decided to throw aside the normal budget process yet again this year and take what's supposed to be 12 little fights and turn them into one big fight, combine all the spending bills into one giant bill, and hope to get that done now before Thanksgiving. It's a big gamble because what we've learned as much as anything this year is that the old strategy of if you tell Congress they have to either take it or leave it, they'll usually take it. That hasn't worked this year. The Republicans, the freshmen, the Tea Party freshmen have said we're willing to leave it, and so they may yet say that again.
All right, so you've been watching these battles for a long time. What's your take on where we go from now, let's say, until the election? I mean, is this just going to be the political climate that we're going to have to digest here?
There's little reason to think otherwise, Lori. I've got to say that usually it's the full year before campaign season. You tend to see some things get accomplished. It does seem like the combination of divided government at the Capitol, Democratic Senate, Republican House, the Republicans eager to thinking they're licking their chops, thinking the president's vulnerable. There's very little reason for anybody to compromise. But something will have to get done between now and presumably before they go home for the Christmas end of the year holidays to get at least this one-year budget settled. Now, things look so bleak for, I would say, the so-called super committee. This is the committee that we all have been hearing about, the 12 lawmakers who are supposed to be planning a big deficit reduction push of $1.2 trillion or more. Things are looking so bleak for them that now this one-year budget battle over just the spending for the fiscal year that begins this weekend looks to dominate, and as I say, very little reason to believe that's going to get done easily either. So there's almost no place you look do things look easy. Even the next bill that the Senate is going to be taking up when they come back next week, which involves an attempt to crack down on what critics say is currency manipulation by the Chinese, even that's not going to be easy.
And that's one of the most important things I think we've got to get taken care of. David, thank you so much. We appreciate it. David Hawkings, great info as always.
Great info, a little downbeat.